Okay, Cooler Guy here. We're walking to the studio, and in this edition of Cooler Making, we're gonna walk and we're gonna do this fucking interview. I'm kind of like on a time schedule. Still trying to go about my head like what the fuck song I want to do for Respect the Coolers. And today, fuck it, we'll do Believe Me. You remember the Drake song featuring Wayne, Believe Me? That shit was killer though, even on both ends though, but I like the Wayne verse a lot more. It really inspired me to actually do the fucking verse. Inspiration going into it was that he killed that shit, you know? That nigga killed that shit. But I just wanted the end of the beat because I love the switch up of it. So that's exactly what I did. And once again, pushing the pen, once again, just giving food for thought, punchline, you know, exactly how I start off, you know, sip, sip. Just because, you know, sip, sip, rip, rip, you know, the same thing that Drake did. Yeah. Even going into that song, though, I'm going the wrong fucking way. I almost had it. Yeah. Even going into that song, I like the aggressiveness of it. So you still hear that you know, like, within that voice of, you know, throughout the verse. Going hard for the sip. Nah, you know I had to do it for the sip. Yeah, you know I had to do it for the sip. No soda can, I'm just hungry for the chips. You know, shit like that. Like, you know, I never heard that. To me, I'm like, that shit's crazy. Whoever heard it and say shit about it, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is what I thought they wanted. But, you know, got to cut the bullshit out now. Snip, snip. You know, it's just like back-to-back punchline, good feel. Delivery is there. The cadence is there. It's like, once I started doing Respect the Coolers, I really probably was more, at the time was more confident than ever within rap skills. Not saying now because, you know, I've obviously been picking it up even more. But at that time, though, it was, you know, I was finally kind of like comfortable again in the studio, even though at the time, you know, I was spending the night in the studio and shit like that. But that's the recording process. The recording process and the writing process is are two different times. You know, the writing process was probably like 2 years before. No. Like a year before we actually started recording. You know, so even with that going like that, this shit's crazy though. But the writing process though, can I see like can I remember like the fucking what made me like well, we're trying to figure out where was I at the time. I knew I wanted to do it because he killed that shit on the one verse, and it was like, oh my god. So yeah, just I guess just, you know, we'll just get to the feelings of it once again. Well, I think I was probably next door over Cake when I wrote it, you know, and just being, you know, it was probably like shit cold out there too. Used to be rough, but we enjoyed it. But just I guess that type of feeling right there of you know, sense of we didn't have a studio, so like the sense of not knowing where it's going and shit like that, and still, you know, like fuck it, I'm feeling it, I gotta push through, and that's exactly what happened though with it. You know, I didn't know a year later we was gonna get a chance to record in the studio. You know, so everything came around for it. I had to put it on there. I knew as soon as I heard it and I got the beat, shit was over with. I was gonna kill it. I said I was gonna kill it, and I did kill it. I don't need scissors just to cut you out the picture. I don't need scissors just to cut you out the picture. Damn, I keep forgetting. It just keep coming back to me like little by little though. But so many punchlines. I mean, back to back with it. You know, never giving it up. You know, never letting these motherfuckers, you know, take it. You know, take it for small shit. You know, like, you know, it's crazy. Like, I'm still doing this shit just because I'm driven to. You know, I can't stop. Don't want to stop. This is shit that's made for me though. So even with that, like going into it's really something unique once you hear it though. So if you would go to Believe Me on Respect the Coolers on my YouTube page, and we'll get to you on the next Respect the Coolers. I'm gonna go to the studio. Cooler out.